Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, the home of the complete guide walkarounds for your Ford vehicles right here in Salina, Kansas. We are very known for our complete guide walkarounds where we cover all the standard equipment, different equipment groups, the packages, standalone options, even factory accessories, and our videos on the different models and specific to trims. So a lot of people like those videos. They're very thorough videos. If you like that type of content or even informational videos like we're going to do with this one here, hit the red subscribe button down below so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. You'll also get notified the next time another video uploaded to our YouTube channel. So we are going to do a video here on the Sync 4, first introduced in the 2021 F-150. So first vehicle to get the new Sync 4 system with either an 8-inch or the 12-inch touchscreen. So the 8-inch touchscreen is going to be found in your XL trim as well as XLT with the 300 or 301. The 12-inch touchscreen is available in an XLT with a 302. Yes, an XLT can get the 12-inch touchscreen, as well as your Lariat, King Ranch, Platinum, and your Limited. So we're going to cover the 12-inch screen because it is going to be the most popular sought-out option here for you. XLT 302A is probably the most popular trim and equipment group that you're going to see ordered out there, and so it's going to come with this 12-inch touchscreen. So we're going to cover this very in-depth video. We will be doing a separate video on the 8-inch touchscreen so you can see the difference between those. So if you're out there, you have an F-150 with this, or maybe you're getting a Bronco this summer, and you're getting that luxury package with the 12-inch touchscreen with the Sync 4 system, this video will come in handy for you as well, so you can get a little advanced notice on how to work that system, so when you get your Bronco, you're ready to go. Of course, we'll do a separate video when the Bronco comes out on that trail map, but everything else should be included just like it is on this F-150. So of course this system, the Sync 4, will be rolling out in the other models as we see them come out. Of course, we'll see it probably in the 2022 Expedition as well as the Super Duty 2. So it'll be an all new system that comes out and keeping going. So very connected navigation system as well as a better communication. It is more conversational type communication using the voice commands through the system as well. So it's going to be a little bit better and more intuitive. But also over-the-air updates are going to be available now. So over-the-air updates, you can schedule all your updates and you can go ahead and connect those up. And you won't have to, we may not see too many more new sync systems. We're on number 4 now. We may not see it advance with the over-the-air updates now, being able to do that at any time. They won't need to always have a new system come out. They can just do a software update over the air to your vehicle and fix all of those. So we're going to dive inside and cover this. Again, a very thorough video. I cover all this going complete entirety, so I'll try to have timestamps in the description down below, as well as if you're watching this on desktop, you can move around in the video. You can see it on the timeline there. So go ahead and move around if you need to cover something else, or if you're a little bored with that section, you want to move ahead. You can do that at any time and always come back to this. So that's what I like to do, is always have those down in the description of all my videos. So check that out. Also, don't forget, if we're a dealership you like to work with, and maybe you watch this video, one of some of our other videos, and say, that's a dealership, when I get an F-150, I want to get from them, we do free shipping. We'll have more information about the free shipping at the end of the video, but keep in mind that that is available if you would like to work with McArthur and you don't live here, essentially located around us. We actually ship all over the United States. So check out information about that end of the video. But let's go ahead and jump inside. Let's cover this 12-inch touchscreen, give you some nice close-ups of that screen so you can see what we're talking about and how this system works. Okay, so now we're in here, and this is the new Sync 4 system, and this is with the 12-inch touchscreen, as we said we're going to cover here. We'll be doing one on the 8-inch touchscreen, so if you're looking for that, we're going to be doing one on that. So you'll notice on this, there's no home button on this system here, like it was with the Sync 3. You have 2 options for information here on the main screen. Instead of before you had 3, you had 2 different options over here and a main one over there for like the nav screen and such like that. In this case, you have 2 different options, but you have all these buttons down here, so you would need to go to those features pretty easily by clicking on those buttons down on the bottom. And we'll go through each of these buttons, but first, just kind of looking at the main display here, you can see the navigation is covering up about 2/3 of that screen, and over here we do have our radio over here. Click any of these arrows over here and it's going to change this. So if I click down, it's going to go to phone, and I did connect my phone. I'm going to show you some features about the phone in there. That's why I connected it. And then of course you have the eco behavior. This one does have the Pro Power on board, so it shows you what it has available and what you want to use. We'll get into more of that in just a little bit. Zone lighting is right there, and then you can go, of course, back to the radio. Now The benefit of having those over there, it doesn't give you a lot of information right there, but when you can just swipe it over then, and now I have that information right there, and I can swipe back to my navigation. So let's say I was on zone lighting, you're noticing nothing there, but if I pull it over, now I have the zone lighting, and I can go ahead and use the zone lighting how I want to right there pretty easily. Bring in the audio. I am going to click back over to navigation because that's what I want over there, and we'll go on over here to the radio again. So that's how that looks. At any time I want this a little bit bigger, I can hit the little arrows right here. It's going to expand it. Now that navigation is on the full screen, it has pinched the zoom for you. You can manipulate it, move it, reset the view, that kind of thing. At any time, if you want these the settings back up, they're going to come up over here. And we're actually going to go through each one of these down below here, but I just want to show you the main setup for that screen. Just hit the little arrows again, and it brings it back into that normal screen, however we see it right there. So let's go ahead and start and go run through each of these again, very thorough. So the next timestamp, of course, we're going to have the timestamp for each one of these sections down below, so you can see how we go through each of those. So go into the audio. Not a lot here to look at here. You do have the little source button, so that's where you would change it from AM, FM, Sirius XM, or since I connected my phone, I can Bluetooth audio through my phone. I like using that system sometimes, and if you have the Sirius XM app, you can use that, and you can go ahead and play your Sirius XM through your phone if you want to, and not have to pay for the subscription through Ford on this. So really up to you. So going back, you do have direct tune, just like it sounds. If you're on, no matter what you're on, we happen to be on FM. So if we just press in the station, I want 89.7, boom, enter it. It's going to change it to 89.7, whatever it might be. You can also have the presets. So let's say you have one that you want it over here. You just press and hold this button. Oh, I wasn't pressed. There we go. So then it moved it over to there. So you have to press and hold the button, make sure you're on that button. The sound over here is your settings. You'll notice they highlighted now the settings over here because they're also over there. And that's where you would, typically that's where they're at, but that's a quick link over to that. So we can go to tone settings. So you have treble, you have your bass, mid-range, and such like that. And you can adjust those through that bar. You have a fade and balance. So you can, if you want the audio, let's say you just want it on yourself, you can fade it up to me, you can move it over. I want it just on me now, so I can do that. I can move this around. If you have kids in the back that are on their own systems or something, and they don't want to listen to it, you can move it up for the driver and front passenger if you want to. Then you do have the speed compensated volume. That means the faster you go, the higher the volume is going to be. So they're thinking wind noise coming in when you're on the highway, you can raise that volume up real easily right there. So make sure I got it on my screen yet. And then we do have sound mode. You have stereo or surround sound mode right there. So really cool on how that all works. Now you will see when I go back to the FM radio, down here we do have a couple different bars down there, the little bars. Those are different presettings. So right now it defaults to 2. So you have 5 there and 5 there, so we have 10. Let's say we want more than that. Go over to settings, go to radio, preset pages 2. Click on that. I want 6. So change it to 6. If we go back over here to audio, you'll notice there's 6 little bars now. So now I have 30 presettings that I can have. So that's where you would change that if you want to. I'm going to actually take it back to 2 just because that's how it comes from the factory. I like to have everything the way it was. So that's everything in the audio setting section there. Pretty easy to use. Through there, again, under settings, you can have your audio settings will be under here as well, under sound. As well as, like we just covered those earlier, and then under your radio section as well right there is radio text. Basically click the I, you can learn anything. The text just means that display information about the current FM radio broadcast if it's available, like the song or the artist, that kind of thing. That can be displayed if you activate that. And then also if you want FM HD radio, you can activate that as well. Just a little bit of clarity there. That allows tuning to HD radio broadcast, of course, if available. So that's where you would change those settings right there. All right, so now it's time for the phone. So we'll go into the phone. I did connect my phone, so I'm not going to go on how to connect the phone. The dealer should do that for you. I am connected to my Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Right here you do have, I haven't done anything with it using this system except for I activated 911 Assist, which I'll show you where you can do that if you forgot to activate that. Also can download your phone book and that kind of stuff, and all those different features right there. So from the screen you can see recent, you can set up your favorites. That shows you different people that have called me, so I'm going to go out of that so you don't need to see that, but those are the favorites. Those are what's in your phone, people I call often, that kind of thing. That's your recent calls, so again shows you people that I've called recently right there. And then it shows your contacts. I'm not going to click on that. Well, I'll click on it so you can see it real quick, but it will show the different contacts that I have right there in my phone system there, right there, pretty easily to see there. Also, you do have the keypad, so then I can go ahead and punch in the number if I want to and call them right from there. So this is all, you can do that all from here, but keep in mind that any of this, you can do it through the voice commands as well. So you can tell it to call so-and-so, you can call this person, that person, you can call or dial this number. You can do that by using the little button over here in the voice commands, and I'll show you how you can do it even without pressing the button, which is really cool. And then you do have your phone list there. So again, it shows you all the different phones that are connected to this system, and you can add and remove those. So at any time if I want to click on that one, I can then delete this one if I want to. There's a little delete button, so I can do that right through there as well. And then you have messaging, so you can also sync does not have access to messaging from this. You can, of course, grant it access if you want to. I did not do that when I set it up. You do have voice assistant there. Okay, so it says it's not provided. Didn't do research on that before I got into this. You can find out a little bit more about that. And you do have a do not disturb if you want to. So voice assistant must be for the phone itself. Whether or not you want the phone to be able to use the voice assistant is probably what that is, by activating, deactivating that system there. So that probably allows the voice assistant through this system instead of through your phone using it right there. That's how that probably works there. So, okay, I think I covered everything on the phone. So the next timestamp, we're going to go to the navigation screen. So a lot of people like using this. There we go. So right here we're on the navigation screen again. We can make this bigger, so let's go ahead and make it bigger for the video. And then the little blue arrow over here brings up this bar again. Go up to the menu, and you can see there's 8 different options there for you. You do have map orientation, so let's click on that. And that's just how this map is going to look. It kind of shows you a little display. If you want the buildings coming up, more of a 3D, heads up means whatever direction you're turning, is the arrow is always going to be facing up. If you want to go to more the 2D, that's just basically, it's just kind of the flat. And again, it's heading up, which means that whatever direction you're driving is always facing up. And then you have 2D north up, which means that the north of the map will always be facing up. So not necessarily how you're pointed. So you can choose whatever you like there with this system pretty easily on that map orientation. Voice. Voice just allows whether or not you want them telling you things instead of just having it on the screen and having the map there. So you want it to say, turn right at the next street or whatever. It'll tell you all those voice commands through the system, so you can turn it on and off right here if you don't want that on there. Traffic on the map, so it's grayed out right now because we don't actually have a route or a navigation route going, but when you do, it'll show you traffic within that map that you may want to avoid at any time. And then avoid on route. So click on that, and it's our settings. So do we want to avoid highways, toll roads, tunnels, ferries, that kind of thing? You can avoid those things by checking those boxes. It'll try to avoid the toll roads. It'll try to avoid the tunnels. Highways if you want to, and just take country roads or whatever, then it'll give you the right route for avoiding those things. So you can change those in your settings. Show on map. So this is what things you want to show on your map. Saved would be your saved locations. So places that you've gone to often that you've saved, that's where those are going to be showing on the map. You have gas stations, food, parking. You have a whole list here of things that you want to see on the map when you see the map there. So right now, of course, you see they're not clicked. So when you get your vehicle, it'll probably be the same way. If you want those, you need to make sure you go into that screen to activate those. trailer routing. So this means that you do have a trailer and you want to have a trailer optimized routing. So maybe there's certain streets that just are not made for trailers. So if you're towing something, maybe a good thing for you to activate that, and then you can click on the towing menu, and also right here you'll notice it goes to features, but here's where you have a checklist for your towing. So you connection checklist, let's go ahead and go through that. You have a conventional, that'd be your tongue. It basically takes you step by step on connecting your trailer, making sure you've done everything. You've connected it, you've locked the ball, you've attached your wiring, electrical there, your chains are connected, you have your breakaway switch, is that connected? Have you checked your lights to make sure they're functioning? Have you brought up your tongue jack and secured it? Have you, if you have trailer tow mirrors, have you extended them out for towing and adjusted them? And then have you adjusted your trailer brake controller gain settings? So you go through all those checklists. There's one for conventional, gooseneck, and fifth wheel. Yes, F-150 can tow a fifth wheel. Father has one, and with the 6.5 foot bed, tows it just fine. So you have those different checklists. You can add a trailer. So if it's a trailer you use often, you can put that in there so that way you don't have to adjust any kind of settings. You can select it right there. Of course, we don't have one, but you can select your different trailers there. Manage trailers as well. Let's say you had one in there, you connected once, it was a friend's or something, you want to delete it, you can do that from this screen. And then you can trailer connection notification, you want that on, and then trailer sway controlled, you want that activated and on as well, right there by highlighting, and just press those little buttons and they're going to turn on and off pretty easily there. So there's where that setting is for part of your towing on the map. So you can do it through the map, you can also do it through the features. We'll show you that in just a little bit. Weather, so it's not showing that because we don't have that connected yet, and we're not on Ford Pass, but it will show you weather coming through on the map. And then you do have more settings. So this is to be your routing and map preferences. So automatically reroute to avoid traffic. So you can activate, right now it's deactivated. So you'll want to make sure you activate that if you want to do that. Use carpool lanes when routing. The 3D map, so you click on that and you can say, do I want to see buildings and landmarks? I don't care about landmarks, but yeah, I like buildings. You can uncheck those boxes. And then of course you have it on here, preferred routing type is fastest. You can change that to the eco-friendly, so whatever version, whatever way you want it to. And then do you want the breadcrumbs? That shows you your map of where you're going, and when you've passed certain places, it leaves the breadcrumb behind you to show you where you've been. You can turn that on and off, or have it on auto. I'm not sure what the auto is what that's gonna look like, but you can change that. Some other preferences there. And then you also do have privacy down here. What privacy means is that, do you want to clear your save list or your search history? So there's been situations where people have had their vehicle stolen and they've had the navigation there, and they've actually had one that said home, and they could actually click on that and know exactly where those people lived. And if they had their car and they had their keys, then they could get into their house. So you can actually have that clear that data for you if you want to, and through this screen here in the privacy. So, and then there's some other factory settings and such. Anytime you need to know anything about something, press a little I, and it's going to bring you up information and let you know what that is all about. So click that right there. Okay, and then you have the about, just shows you what map version you have right there, what navigation version you have right there. Going back, we've covered everything as part of the menu. The search, really cool. You can actually search you can type in your destination if you want to right there. Don't forget, you can always use the voice commands to be able to give it that information. You have recents in here, so if you've been someplace recently, of course we don't have any in here, it's a brand new truck, but you can have recent places you've gone to there. Saved, so if you've had a location, you want to save it, you can do that as well. You have gas stations in here, so nearest gas stations are right there, so hey, you can just click the button and then choose it to go there, and you're good to go. You have food, and this keeps scrolling. So food, attractions, parking, ATM, shopping, rest area, coffee, emergency, hotel, Ford dealerships. Hopefully we're in here. Yes, we are. We're right there. We're right at it. So really cool on how that all works. So you can pick those destinations right there. And then of course, right from the screen, you don't have to go into the search to get to the recent and the saved. You can get to it from right here as well. Right there on that screen. So you can see it's under the search, saved, and recent but you don't have to go there if you know that they're in there. Just click on the recent, boom, or the saved right there from that screen, and then you're set to go for that. You'll notice GPS right now isn't showing because we're inside of a metal building here with very good service. Can't even do live streams in this building, but that's how that works. Now you do have a favorites button down here, and that button there, what's really cool about that, if you click that, right now it just says favorite, but once you click something, then that becomes that button right there. Love this. This is awesome. Allows you to pretty much, this button can be what you want it to be. So here's your options. You have quite a few options here. As you scroll right and left, you can make your phone list be down there, your audio sources, your towing, your Pro Power on board, your zone lighting, which those features were over here, but if you'd rather have something else, because you can flip through those over there. You can have recent calls down there, messages, email, zone, I already mentioned zone lighting, your sound settings, your driver assistance. You get to the driver assistance from features, but if you don't want to click features and then driver assistance, you can bring that down there to that location instead if you want there. This is a power boost, so you can have your power flow in that button there if you want to. Your Wi-Fi vehicle settings. So again, vehicle settings is under settings and then vehicle, but if you don't want to click it twice to get to it, then you can make it your favorites down here. So something you use often, maybe it's that you use zone lighting a lot, or maybe it's the Pro Power on board, or the towing, and you want that button saved right down here, you can get to it. Because towing is a little bit difficult in where you have to go to get to the towing. So if you want to make it easier, you can just click towing and it's going to be saved there. I'm not going to press any buttons right now because you can't go back to this button that says fave. Once you add something, it can only be switched out. It can't be taken off. So once I click on one of these, it's going to go there. If I want a different feature, at any time I can change it. So you just press on one of the other features and it becomes that button right down there. So that's an extra button basically. Ford's allowing you to use any of these other features to go into that location if you want to. Let's go over to the apps. This is where you can find your different mobile apps. And I am connected and it's actually trying to search for my apps there. And it's going through all my apps, and I have a bunch of apps, so it'll probably take a while. Won't go through this, but it does look for those apps that are available with the sync. It says no apps found, which means that I don't have any apps that are available to be able to use with this system, and I'm sure they're going to have more and more apps. There is a mobile apps help there if you want to. That kind of shows you, if you want to be able to connect different things through that. I won't go into detail onto this, but you do have the mobile apps. They're getting more and more of those apps. You can add them through connecting via Bluetooth, it says, or via USB if you want to connect it and plug it into the USB. You can do that as well right there and have those apps come up on here. I know Alexa and such is available on there. I don't use Alexa on my phone, but you can use that through this as well right here using that apps button down there. I'll go over to settings. We're going to spend some time here. There's quite a few of the different things to go through on this. Sound we've already talked about. Sound is where it wants to shut the vehicle off. Sound is where you're going to set the different settings we already talked about earlier. The tone, the balance, and all that is right through there. We covered it in the audio section. The clock. Clock is where you click on that, and that's where you can change your time. You can do 24-hour mode if you want to. You can do an automatic time update that'll update. Daylight savings time's coming up soon. You can do that, or you can just change that setting at any time through this screen right here. Is currently 11 o'clock a.m. here in Salina, right there. Okay, you can go to phone list. Phone list is where you're showing the list of the phones. We talked about that. It's also located under the phone section. Probably noticed when we went to phone list, it kicked us over to there. This is where it's kind of housed, but there's quick links from these other devices to get to these settings. Connectivity, and that is connecting. Here's your connected vehicle features. Click on that, and you can, of course, turn that on and off. Shared vehicle data, vehicle analytics, stuff like that. All those settings for your connected vehicle features are right here. You have the Sirius XM with the 360L. That's if you have it like on your phone and you come into the car, it's going to continue playing what you're on into this into the vehicle when you get in and turn the vehicle on, that kind of thing. Privacy settings, all right here. Actually can't click on that, but it actually lets you turn those on and off through this screen for these. Again, any of those, you just press the I, tells you a little bit more information about what that feature does. and so it gives you some information there on what you want to do. And that's a lot of this stuff is stuff that can be shared to your Ford Pass. So that's connecting those together. What's really cool is if you have a Ford F-150 vehicle and you connect your vehicle using the app, your zone lighting and some of the features, the Pro Power Onboard, are actually going to be translated and go into your Ford Pass app, which is really cool. Hopefully I'll be able to do a separate video on that at some point to show you how that works with using the Ford Pass app and connecting your zone lighting through your phone. You don't have to be in the vehicle to do that, as well as your Pro Power Onboard. Some of those other features, of course, you can just press those eyes to learn a little more about that there. Bluetooth, so you can click on that and it's going to, of course, we have that activated. You can change the vehicle name. This is where you would do that. So right now I think it just says Ford F-150. You can name your own your vehicle so that you can see that. Like I actually have two F-150s connected on this, one for my truck and one for this one. So if you have different vehicles, you might want to name them differently, especially if you have the same type of vehicle, like multiple F-150s in your fleet or something. You might want to name them something with their color or whatever it might be. You can change that name right through there. Go back there. You have wireless app protection, so click on that and that actually shows you that you can change the password for your wireless app right there. So right through that system, of course, you can scroll up, you can see that information right there. Actually don't need to scroll, but it's right there. And then you can manage your Wi-Fi networks right here as well. We do have Wi-Fi turned on. And then this here is where we can see the different Wi-Fi signals that's available for this vehicle to connect to wirelessly. So we don't have to use data or anything. We can actually, there's only one in this building that's connected right to this building. That's the only one that's available, but it's your home would show up there and that kind of thing. Wi-Fi availability notification, you can turn that on and off if you want to. It just shows you that there's a Wi-Fi available for you to be able to connect to if you want to, right through that, the Wi-Fi settings. So, so that is connectivity. Now let's go to sync navigation, and we've actually gone through this screen here. You'll notice that was under the navigation, under the menu. It's also located here as well, so I won't go through those again. We've already covered those. Vehicle. So vehicle, this is where you're typically in the past, most of these features were located in your productivity screen in the steering wheel. Now they're all located over here on the screen instead. They're trying to simplify all the things on your productivity screen on your dash to just make it safer for you. So you do have all those same settings here. You do want a 30-minute max on the idle. Like I was in here for 30 minutes for this video. That's why it was wanting us to go ahead and do that. When I hit the OK to shut that off, it deactivated on this screen right here. Rear occupant alert. I think this is a really cool feature. So when I shut the vehicle off, it's going to bring up a warning and some chimes that says, have you checked for any rear occupants in the back? And you know, that's a safety precaution Ford has had, because you know, some people, we've heard news alerts where people have left their kids in their car, they've gone on to work and they've been in a hot car or something. This is just a nice safety feature for you. You know, especially if you're transporting kids, babies that fall asleep and such and make no noise, and you're sidetracked, you're thinking about work and not thinking about it, and you just go right by, you know, go on to work instead of dropping at the babysitter. This lets you know when you get out whether or not you have any occupants in there. So it's really cool. It's just a reminder to check for rear occupants back there. So that's a pretty cool feature. The Eco Idle, you click on that, it tells you a little more about it. The engine idle at higher RPMs to recharge the battery. So I don't know if you could hear, but as we've been doing this video, this is the power boost. It's actually been turning the vehicle on every so often to recharge that battery up so that we can keep running just like we are here without the engine running all the time. My Key, so you can click on that and you can program a My Key, which allows for like kids or something like that to have the vehicle. And what it does is when you program that My Key, if they have that on there, they can't like turn the radio on unless their seatbelt's on. They can't drive over a certain speed limit. They can't have the audio over a certain volume. So it's a nice way to have safe driving for your kids, and you can program those keys using this information right here. And then your onboard modem serial number. So that just tells you what the serial number is for the modem right there. Remote start setup. So you want to go in here when you're for your remote start. You can remote start the vehicle through the app or through your remote right there, and this allows you can turn that on and off. So if you don't want people to be able to remote start the vehicle, then you can turn it off altogether, or like it's on right now. So what it's going to do is it's going to set up these three sections. Your climate control. there's auto and last setting. The difference between that is auto means that when you have it on auto, it's going to turn the defrost and the lower temperature on, and even if you have heated seats like this one, should turn on your heated seats as well. So on last setting would be whatever it's on. So let's say it's summertime, you want that on last setting, not on auto, because you don't want your defrost on during the summertime. You want the vehicle cooled off. So the last time I was in the vehicle, I had it set for 72 degrees. Then when you click on last setting or remote start the vehicle, it's going to cool the interior of the vehicle off for you during the summertime. So whenever that switches over in the fall and in the spring, you want to switch those back and forth to the right setting for that different weather. Seats the same way as I just mentioned. Auto setting would turn on the heated seats. You turn it off during the summertime. You don't need those heated seats turned on. So that's what you want to make sure you do. And the duration, how long it remote starts. So when you turn it on and remote start it, it'll stay on for 5, 10, or 15 minutes, whatever you have set through here, and then it'll shut off. Usually you can run it through 2 cycles before you actually have to start the vehicle. So that's everything in the remote start setting. Going down, if we scroll down, we have wipers. So clicking here, you have the courtesy wipe. You can turn that on and off, as well as rain sensing. So this does have rain sensing wipers. If you have one of those intermittent settings, starts to rain, it's going to turn those wipers on and wipe for you when you need it to. You don't have to do anything other than activate it right here. If that's something you don't like, you can deactivate it. Also, courtesy wipe would be if you turn the wipers off and then turn them off, or if you turn the wipers on and then turn it off, it's going to do one last wipe for any dribbles that might come down and that kind of thing. Now go to lighting. This is where you have auto high beams on these vehicles, which means the high beams will come on automatically when it gets dark, or when it's dark out. Nobody in front of you. It's going to turn those high beams on for you. Turn them off if somebody approaches you or in the city lights. If you don't like that feature, you can deactivate it right there. Daytime running lights, you can also turn those on or off. Welcome lighting, that's where it lights up the interior of the vehicle, or as you approach the vehicle, like this case, this does have the intelligent access, so as you approach the vehicle, it's going to turn those intelligent access lights on as you approach the vehicle. If you don't like that, you can deactivate it, so you can shut that off right there. Auto lamp delay, you do have that's your auto headlights. So what's your delay in how long it takes for it to turn on and off? So when it's light outside, it's gonna turn the lights off, but when it gets dark, it's gonna turn them on. So that's your delay and how long it takes for them to turn on and off for that type of situation. Usually they have it set for 20 seconds. And then you have the zone lighting. Right now is disabled, and we're going to talk more about that when we get to the features here in just a little bit, but this is where you can activate and deactivate that. You'll be able to do that in zone lighting as well, so I don't see really a major need to go into this lighting, but it is housed in here just in case. Going to locks, okay, when you come up and you have that remote and you unlock the vehicle, and you press that unlock button once, what's it going to do? So you can go in here and you can have it turn, oh wait, sorry, before we get to that, we're on the auto unlock. Helps if I actually read the words. Auto unlock here, that means that when I shut the vehicle off, or when I turn the vehicle off, it automatically unlocks the doors. So if you don't like that, you want them to stay locked until you're ready to get out, you would want to deactivate that. The mislock chirp. This would be if maybe you shut your doors and one door doesn't get all the way shut and you lock it, it's going to chirp at you and let you know that it's mislocked. It didn't lock. Or let's say the keys are inside and you lock the doors and you shut it and it won't lock because it doesn't want you to lock your keys in the vehicle. It'll chirp twice at you and let you know that you've left your keys in the vehicle. It did not lock. Switches inhibit. That just inhibits these switches when you have the vehicle locked. Let's say you have the windows down, right, but you have the doors locked. They wouldn't be able to reach their hands in and use the power windows switches or the unlock switch as well to unlock the vehicle without using the remote. So that's why that's activated in this vehicle. And then audio feedback, that would be, click on that, I think I know what that means, yeah. That allows the vehicle to chirp or beep twice if you lock the vehicle remotely within 3 seconds. So that's kind of what I was talking about. It gives you those audible tones there. And then this is the one I was about to I got ahead of myself here. So the remote unlock would be when you have the key and you unlock the vehicle. When you press that unlock once, what's it going to do? Is it going to unlock all the doors or just the driver's door? So if you have it on driver's door, what it'll do is when you press it once, it'll unlock the driver's door. You press it twice, it's going to unlock all the doors. So you can still do it with the remote and unlock the other doors. It's just what do you want to do typically when you hit that button once, all doors or just the driver's door. So that's the setting on the locks there. And then you do have the door keypad code. This is where you can, when you have the vehicle on like I do now, I can go ahead and set my 5-digit code right here in the screen. I don't have to get the learn how to do that, put in the master code and everything. You can do it from this. Actually, you do have to have the master code. I'm sorry. You have to press that in first and then enter that. Then you do your own code. So that's just Ford's safety precautions there for the door code. Okay, covered all the vehicle settings. What else do we have to go through? Quite a few here. The general settings, that is your language. Do you want it English, Spanish, or French? Select those. Temperature, Fahrenheit or Celsius. Your measurement units, you have miles per hour, or you want kilometer. You can change those different wordings right there. Maybe you're in Canada, you might want to switch those. You can do that. Tire pressure as well. They have different unit options there for you too. And then you do have the touch. See how it's been beeping on us? If I uncheck that, now when I go into those, you notice that there's no beep now. So this software license just shows you that it's licensed. There's the website to go to if you want to get more information about that. I'm going to turn that back on. I like the beep. Send feedback. So I'm going to scroll that up. There's a couple other features. Send feedback. This is pretty cool. So you click on that, and let's say you're having issues with the sync system. Let's say the display interface is having issues. It's complicated to use. You click on that, you submit it, it sends it to Ford. Again, over-the-air updates as well as sending things to them as well as sending them to us. It allows us to be able to communicate to Ford that there's issues with this. I'm having issues. Maybe it's a slow user interface. I will tell you earlier, I got in this vehicle and I couldn't get it to work. None of the touchscreens was working in here, which was an issue. But then I shut it off for a little bit and it worked just fine. You can do that. If it's oops, sorry about that. If it's flickering, something like that, you can give them this feedback. Whatever it might be. Maybe it's with the navigation, it's with the climate control, it's with the camera display. You can give Ford feedback and send this feedback by submitting it to them that it's not working. Let's say it's missing the guidelines. I actually have had that issue before where it's missing the guidelines, and you just click the submit and it lets them know you're having issues with it, and then they should be able to hopefully correct it and send an update for your phone for the system and hopefully fix that. So that's pretty cool. Also, you do have About Sync. Click on that. It gives you information about the sync, the versions you're on, everything else like that is right through there. And you do have a reset. You can do a master reset or you can do a FordPass Connect reset. So let's say say I do connect this vehicle to my phone. We may want to do a reset before the next owner. The owner actually takes part of this. Let's say I use it as demo, something like that. You may want to reset that or even do a master reset. So if I did make this button that I could do a master reset, it should reset it back to the factory. Again, you can do that through this through right here under that general settings right there. And then you do have system update. So you can do, it's where you want to set up your automatic updates. You can turn that on and off. Let's say you don't want an automatic update done, you could deactivate that. If you want to schedule those updates, so you can pick what day of the week you want to do it on, just by clicking that. So you choose what day of the week I want my system update, then, or you can pick what time as well and save it. So it's, hey, I want the system update done on this day of the week at this time. And you can do it weekly if you want to, and that way, and then it just updates it when you actually want it to, instead of doing it while you're maybe driving or something, and then the system's not usable while you're, being able to use your audio and that kind of thing because it's doing an update. You may not want to do that, so you can choose when you want that update done by scheduling that update right there. And then you can also click on here at any time. Let's say you don't have the automatic update scheduled. You can click on here, and if there's an update available, it'll tell you there's an update, and then you can go ahead and update it at that time right there instead of scheduling the update right through there. Okay, we have a few more things over here to cover. You have 911 Assist. This shouldn't take too long. You can activate that 911 Assist. You can set emergency contacts in there. So you can actually click in there and set emergency contact 1 and 2. So let's say you have 911 Assist, it connects, you can connect it to your wife, spouse, whatever it might be. You have two different options there for emergency contacts, as well as activating the 911 Assist. As you click the I, it says there, 911 Assist automatically attempts to call emergency services using a paired and connected phone if a qualified crash is detected. So if it detects a major crash, it's going to call 911 directly. so that way you can do that. To set up emergency contacts, download the contacts from your phone, from your connected phone. So you can set that up through there. So we're going over to the mobile apps. This tells you how you want to connect it. This is the reason why the apps weren't pulling up earlier, because we didn't have it activated here. So if we just, let's say we want to connect the via USB, so I would have to connect my phone into the USB to download the app, to get the apps to pull up the first time. Then there you should be able to use those right through this system here. So that's your settings for the mobile apps. Display. So I can click on there. I can turn this display off. There's also a button right here too. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. You can shut that display off at any time. You can't actually see it. It's right below the screen down here with the audio controls. You can shut that screen off. You can put it on a calm screen as well. And you can also change the brightness of the screen. Right now it's kind of in the middle. And then your mode there, you have it on auto. So auto means that when the lights come on, like we see here, it goes to the blue screen. So we always like to take our pictures, we like the blue screen versus the white screen, because if I go to daytime, it's going to make everything white. And then if I go to nighttime, it'll give you the blue screen instead, like you're seeing right here with the dark blue. So we have it on auto. Oop, there it went finally. So there's your day. It's really bright white. Again, cameras, pictures and all that doesn't work very good. So we usually will actually have the lights on. It'll usually stay on auto, but if your lights are on, it's automatically go to this blue screen right here for the display mode. So that's how that all works right there. So, and let's go ahead and do that and show you what that, if you shut the display off, what it's going to do. Again, just shuts it off. And then I think if you just tap it, it comes back on. Calm screen, show you what that looks like. That just takes you, the screen's still on, but it gives you just a date and the time right there for that screen. There you go. If I just tap it, it comes back on. So, and then going over to voice control. So this allows you to give you a wake-up word. So if you don't want to use the button on the steering wheel, you can actually click on that, and then you can have a preferred wake-up word. So right now it's set for OK Ford. There it came on. I didn't have to click the button. So you can just say things. So, and then I can cancel it. So if I want to say, hello Ford, boom, now I have my options. Now it's listening for other commands right through that system right there. And I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. So click it to OK Ford. That's pretty cool. Kind of like your phone does. Pretty easily to use. A lot of people have it with their phones the same way. So you can do that pretty easily. You want to make sure you go in here and do that under your voice, your Ford voice settings, to be able to activate that. Advanced mode, again, you click on that and it's looking at fewer prompts and examples, so it's just a little bit better advanced mode to communicating with your system right there, so you might want to turn that on. Phone confirmation, that just allows you to confirm before it places the call. So are you sure you want to call this person? Confirm it, yes. Some people like that, some people don't. So Ford leaves it up to you on how you want that done. Voice command, here's your list. You want to click on that and show you, you know how when I said OK Ford earlier and it came up with the different options, it shows you those lists. If you don't want to see the list come up, you can just close that, you can just deactivate that, and here is actually the different commands. So this is real helpful. So you can go in here under settings, find out the different commands. So for climate, here are the options you have. Set temperature to a certain number, change the climate to high, set the temp to low. You can those are just some examples. Should be able to do it on certain other ones if you want to, like set the temp to high or change the climate to low. Or whatever it might be, you can check. Those are kind of the phrases that you can use for that. So I can say set temp to high, or I can set change climate to low. Those are just some examples of climate and temp are some keywords, and low and high are some keywords, as well as temperature to a certain number. So say set temperature to 72, it's going to change the temperature to 72 degrees. So it just goes through different things that you can say, for audio and such. A lot of people don't realize how intuitive this is and how many options we have to be able to do things. You can cancel a route. Look at that. If you have the voice prompt on there, you can say, OK Ford, cancel route. OK Ford, show alternate route. Take me home, whatever. Show me my favorites. You can do that easily right through that without having to use this and touch it all the time and do that. Sirius XM's the same way. You can say, OK Ford, Sirius XM channel, 92, whatever it might be. You can do that through these, and this is really cool. So if you need to know what those voice commands are, you would go in here to the settings into Ford voice settings, and then you're going to go on and click on that voice command help right there. So I think we've covered all those. Valet mode, that just allows you to put this vehicle in valet mode, leaving a 4-digit code there. That just allows, if you want to give them access, then in valet mode, then you can disable the valet mode right through there. Pretty easy. And then vehicle hotspot. So this vehicle does have a hotspot. If you activate that, first you get like 3 months for free or something. That is activated, that this vehicle does have a hotspot. It shows you in here, what data you have usage. It says you can go to the Ford app to do that. Settings, manage devices, what devices are connected to it. Right now there shouldn't be any. And then you can block certain devices through that screen. Getting help starting. It takes you step by step how to connect it, how to activate it, and how to manage it through these settings. I won't go through all those and bore you with those details, but you can do all that. And again, eyes on anything over there. So I think we covered everything in the main settings. Let's go to features. It's the last button over here, but there are several things that are included in here, 6 features in here that you can do through that. One of them is the driver assistance. So try to run through these. Driver assistance, again, any of these you can press the I and it tells you more about it. Auto hold means that it'll actually hold the brake while you're stopped someplace so that you can take your foot off the brake. So right now it's deactivated, but you can activate it right through there, and that auto hold button will be activated for you to be able to do that. Cruise control. This does have the Copilot 360 Assist 2.0, so you do have the option for the normal cruise, adaptive cruise, intelligent cruise. So what's the difference between those? And the adaptive cruise just allows you to be able to set the cruise. Someone comes up behind you, you're going to go their speed until you pass them. So it's going to adjust the speed of the vehicle in front of you if there's a vehicle in front of you, and adapts that speed without you having to press the brake or deactivate the cruise. Intelligent cruise. Intelligent cruise allows you to see the speed signs. So let's say you can do a tolerance on that, so it's not activated, so click that. You have a tolerance. Let's say I like to go 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, right? So I press this. Is it still going? So I press it to 5 over the speed limit, right? So if the speed limit is 70, then it's going to set my cruise at 75. If that speed sign changes to 65, it's going to slow me down to go to 70 without me having to do a thing. So that's really cool, and how that works. I might take that back down. Back down there. So that's how the intelligent cruise control works. So it recognizes speed signs, as well as it just takes everything in compound, so your adaptive cruise as well on top of the speed sign recognition. You do also get lane centering with the new the Copilot 360 Assist. So lane centering keeps you in the center of your lane. So you do have Copilot 360 Assist with the lane keeping system that helps you, keep you in your lane, but lane centering actually keeps you in the center of your lane, and especially active when you have your cruise control set. So that way you definitely don't want to get over those lines before it brings you back over. So lane centering is pretty critical there and keeps you in the center of your lane. So that's how that all works. Speed limit assistance. And that's the speed warning. So it actually tells you if you're speeding and lets you know that. So again, press I, gives you more information about that. That's your speed sign recognition. So you can activate the speed sign recognition without having your cruise on, and it lets you know if you're not using your cruise. It lets you know if you're speeding or not when it sees those signs right there. So. And then you do have the lane keeping system, as I just mentioned, where you can have it in either the aid mode or the alert mode or both, and you can adjust that there. Alert system will actually let you leave your lane, but alert you and let you know you've left your lane by vibrating the steering wheel. Aid system will actually bring you and keep you within your lane and bring you back into your lane. So you would activate that system and put it, and you have your different intensity modes as well. You have normal, high, and low, and that's where you adjust that right there. Now talking about pre-collision assist, and this is where you want to make sure this is activated. You do have, the distance indication, so it can actually tell you the distance there if you want that. Also, you have automatic emergency braking. You want to make sure that's activated. So if there's someone going slower than you, maybe they're stopped, you're not paying attention, and you're not paying attention, it's going to alert you first, but then it's also going to hit that brake if you don't, to try to lessen the severity of that accident. Also, you get evasive steering assist with the new Copilot 360 Assist 2.0, which is HAS. So with that evasive steering assist, what it's going to do is it's going to activate when you turn the steering wheel sharply. So you go to turn that steering wheel sharply, then it's going to activate the evasive steering assist to help you steer even more severely around that vehicle if you can't stop to hit them. Also, you do of course have the alert sensitivity for that system right there, normal, high, or low right there. Some people are like, I've never had that go off. Well, you might have had it set to low. That might be why it didn't go off. So put it on high, you'll definitely probably get it go off on you once in a while. Moving on down, we do have rear view camera settings. So you have it right there. So right now we do have the guidelines showing you there. You do have those. I love the backup camera on the Ford vehicles. This is the enhanced park aid, which allows you to see those lines turn when you're turning. And then if you deactivate it, then those lines would just be there. They would not turn and let you know where you're going. And then you do have the rear view camera delay. So this basically, if you have that on, it'll stay on for a little bit until you get going a certain speed, and then it'll go off. But that gives you that delay if you want to have it on for a little bit. It is deactivated from the factory there. Blind spot information system, so that is turned on. So the bliss system, so if there's someone in your blind spot, it's going to put a light in that corner of that mirror as long as you have it activated. Parking aid sensors, those are both turned on. This one actually has a front sensing system as well as a rear sensing system, and those can be activated or deactivated through this system here. Right through those features. You do have the cross traffic alert, so as you're backing up, someone's across your path behind you. If you have that activated, it'll alert you and let you know with the series of tones. You need to not back up. There's a message on the dash, as well as whatever side they're coming from, those mirrors will be blinking as well for you. This does have the new reverse brake assist. So just like the front one, as you're backing up, if you're, it alerts you and lets you know that there's something behind you, but if you don't hit your brake, it's going to initiate that brake support so you don't hit those bicycles, or hopefully there's not anybody back there, but it can hopefully eliminate that as well. And then you do have the driver alert. That goes along with the lane keeping system, so it alerts you if you take your hands off the steering wheel and lets you know you need to put your hands back on the steering wheel. So it'll give you those notifications on your productivity screen for you. So there's all the driver assistance features. Pro Power on board. This does have the generator in the bed, so you can actually plug things in. Right now it's turned on. As you can see, you can put it in generator mode. So you can tell, it tells you right there, generator mode generator mode turned off because it's low fuel. So I am actually low on fuel, so it actually does not let me use that right now. You can actually activate that right through that screen, and then you can see how much wattage you have. Right now there's not much because of the fuel amount. Full tank, whatever, it'll actually light up that, go green all the way around and show you they have plenty of fuel and energy for this hybrid engine to be able to go ahead and run the Pro Power on board. But right here's where you would see that. Again, it can come up over here on the side. You can actually test it and use those generators in the back, plugging in those power tools, whatever you might have back there, lights if you want to. Speaking of lights, going to zone lighting, this is where you would turn that on. It does give you a message that the zone lighting does control these lights. So right now it's on the front. If I want all zones, I just click all zones. It's going to light up all the way around. If I shut that off, right now it's on because my headlights are on. So if I shut the headlights off, it'll take it off. And let's say I'm on a campsite and I want to light up the side over there. I can light that up. It's using those lights for the security approach lamp as well as the spotlights on the mirrors to light up on these two sides. And then on the back, you'll see it uses the cab light, it uses the LED box lighting lights, and the tail light. So you can have the tailgate down and still be able to use those lights in the bed as well as back on those tail lights to light up. It's using those backup lights there for that. So just awesome system and how that works. And the front ones, it's using those headlights for you, the LED headlights on even these XLTs. So zone lighting is pretty cool on how that works. So hopefully you saw some clips there from a video I did. And then towing, there's another place you can find that. Remember, it was under the navigation section, but you can also, it's right here too, and you can manage your trailers and everything. We already talked about that, so I won't go into detail into those features, but that's where it's found. Owner's manual. This is really cool. Digital owner's manual right here. So now you have the book in there. You don't need it. It's all right here on the touchscreen. If you have any questions, you can go up to the search bar right up there. You can type in what you're looking for. Maybe it's the bliss. Maybe it's a blind spot information system. It shows you where that's at right there. You also do have categories down here. So you have general information, seats, you have doors, windows, keys. Not sure how the doors lock and unlock. It shows you where to go to find those things on the vehicle. We've actually gone through those, but we talked about mislock, but now I can't remember where that's located. You can go in here and it tells you what it is. It tells you all the different things about it right there. Hopefully I got everything right when I talked about earlier, but you can always find all that information right here under the categories. Go back. There is a visual search. This is pretty cool. So you're looking at the steering wheel now. It actually shows you what those buttons are. So let's say I want to know what those two buttons down there, those two arrows, I don't know what they do. Click on the little C, and it actually tells you it's to tune your radio. That's really cool. I like how it gives you that visual things. So it has some things for your steering wheel. Also has them for your what they call the center stack right here. So those switches there. What's this? That's your trailer brake controller, but some people may not know what it is. They may not know what the drive modes are. All these buttons, you just click on any of those and it tells you what those buttons are. I will tell you some of the top ones, depends on what features you have, maybe in different locations, but it shows you what those are. Then you have an overhead, so you can see, okay, the center console. This doesn't have the shifter, but if it did, it would show you by pressing the A. So that's pretty cool, and being able to see those features. What's that little sensor on my mirror or on the back of the mirror doing? You know, that kind of stuff. What's that little camera on the front of the grill for? You know, for the 360 camera, whatever it might be. You can learn all that information. There's the back of the bed. What's that little sensor for? The tow. I mean, it tells you all those things. Pro Power onboard, and you can quickly go to that and tells you information about that by using those little those commands there. You do also have bookmarks. So let's say you dive into a category and you you click so many screens to get to that. Finally, okay, I don't want to lose that. I'm going to need that. You can hit that little bookmark up there, and then it's going to save it to your bookmarks. So now you won't have to click through all those screens. You would just be able to go into your bookmarks, and it would be located right in there. So that's pretty cool. And then there's videos. This is really cool. I don't know if you know, I watch Ford's YouTube channel a lot. They've been doing videos recently, and they've been putting them so they can put them in your vehicle here. So you can, there's videos on different things like a personal safety system, the latch system, different things like that. They're going to have videos on these. Some of these actually, the videos aren't available yet, but they're leaving that button there because they want to be able to show you that in the future. So you know, they want to make sure you know how to use those features. I'm going to try to find one to kind of demonstrate just a little bit about that. So let's do one on the we're going to do one here on one of these others, you know, the tow connector. So if I click on that, the video pops up for us right there. So then I can play that video. It's 31 seconds long. I think I have to turn that up.
Your vehicle may be equipped with a feature that monitors key components of a trailer that you are towing. Let me explain. The Smart Trailer Tow Connector informs you if something regarding your...
So again, it's using those videos and it's putting them in there, and that's really cool, and how it's able to do that right through that system with those different videos right there. So you can also find these on Ford's YouTube channel as well, those videos right there. So pretty cool. Love the owner's manual on here. It's really cool on how that all works right there. Power flow. If you have a power boost engine, you're going to have this section here. So it tells you if the vehicle's turned on. There it's turned on now. It should. There we go. Now it's showing that I'm needing some of the engine, so to power that battery. Okay, it shut off. Now we can see that it's idle at this present time. If I turn on the air conditioning as well, it's going to show. Of course, it first tells me that, but then it shows that it's going to need that running for some of those other things. And I'm low on fuel, so I don't want to use too much, but that's how that all works right through there. So that power flow is kind of cool and shows you how that. They've had that on the hybrid engines for a while right there. I can shut that off. Right through that system. So that's all the features. So I think I've covered all those. So we've covered everything through the screen. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I said it was going to be a little long, but we went through that system pretty well, and I love the system. I think it's great. It's putting everything right there at our fingertips there on that screen. but also just allows you to do better voice commands with that. So learn how to use those voice commands, enjoy the system. Everything's right there at your fingertips to be able to use. If you have any questions, don't forget, drop them down in the comments down below. Don't forget also, if you like this video, think somebody else might like it, share it out. Smash the like button there for you. And if you like this video, you probably like some of our other content videos that we have. So definitely hit that red subscribe button so you can learn more about our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. You'll also get notified next time another video uploaded to our YouTube channel. If you'd like to work with us, check out our website, McArthur.com. There you can see all of our inventory right there, right there on the screen. Shop online. You can actually do everything right from our website. Financing, get your payments, value your trade, even do all the paperwork and everything right through there, and we can ship the vehicle to you for free. Talking about that, if you want to work with us, we do free shipping. So how that works is we just ask you to finance the vehicle with us. Finance a vehicle with us, we'll ship it for free. We do cap it at about $1,000. And how that works is we get enough kickback from our lenders to pay for the shipping cost. Still can get the great internet price, so still get that price and get the free shipping. So if you want to work with us, we live a little distance away from us, we can ship it to your door for free. We've had a lot of people take advantage of that in the last several years. You can too if you'd like to work with a dealership and knows their product, get a vehicle ordered the way you want it to, delivered right to your door for free. So you can take advantage of that. So also don't forget you can find us on social media. We're at McArthur on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So definitely check us out on those social media sites. And don't forget to be looking for our other videos. We're doing plenty on the F-150, complete guides, as well as we'll do one on the screen for the 8-inch touchscreen as well. So hope you enjoyed this video. Till the next one, we'll see you later.